talk to you for a second?
Sure, Doug.
What's up, Doug? Everything okay? I've got to go away for a couple of days.
Really?
Yeah, it's a business trip.
Business trip? Business trip? Hi, Steve.
I handle the business.
Yeah, he handles business, Steve.
Okay, fine, it's not a business trip. Look, I just need to get away by myself and, figure some things out. Do you understand? You need to get centered. I understand. That's a good idea, Doug. Good for you. You deserve that. Thank you. I need to get centered. Right. Anyway, I need you to cover for me days and nights.
Whoa!
Wait a minute, nights? What about rule number 1?
Yeah, what about rule number 1? Stevie, what's rule number 1?
Hey, Rain Man, run back in there and floss yourself, buddy, all right? I already thought of that. Rule number 1 still stands. Do you remember last year when I had that bronchial infection?
Oh, sure, that's nasty.
Well, you got it again, okay? Just cough a lot and tell her you're really, really sick and you don't want her to catch it, okay? And keep your distance. Can you handle that? Yeah, I've got a sore throat and a fever. Okay, Hey, Doug, you want me to handle it? No. Thanks, though. Hey, I'm just trying to help out. Is he safe with that razor? I mean, yeah, we take the blade out. Two and I shave him at night while he's sleeping. It's cute, I think. All right. Hey, I'm counting on you. Okay, Doug.
Welcome to Flyby Films. Once or twice a month, using the magic of distance-defying tubes or some ludicrous shit like that, we get together to discuss films that either have been or will be forgotten. I'm Blake Collier, and on the line in Chico, California is my friend and co-host Jamison Barsotti. On this episode, we are going to be talking about the rest of the Alien movies, sans Romulus. Or at least try to talk about them, right? Jameson, how have you been?
I've been good. I actually have a question, if you don't mind me
Okay, beautiful.
asking.
Yeah, the notes say alt this out for a random question comment to start the banter. So
Yeah.
yes, please do.
Well, yeah, I have a top of the show question. So a while ago, our listener Thad mentioned. I don't think this was a while ago. This was like
good old
last
sad
week.
Thad.
Sad Thad mentioned that we start our episode by stealing a line from some guy that I can't remember.
I can't remember his name either now.
I can't remember his name. Oh, so you're not going to actually be help in answering this question.
No.
But I guess this is a call out to Thad to write in and tell us what is the line that we are stealing in that intro.
My guess is the magic of distance-defying tubes.
I'm guessing that, but I would love to know.
So I've
love
got my
to know
phone
the
here.
origin.
Let me look up this guy's name that he told me was the person we're stealing for.
Luckily, this person is dead, so they don't actually care. But
yeah.
We're not gonna.
Ted Stevens.
Tad Stevens or Ted Stevens?
Ted Stevens has been dead for 14 years as of right now. And no, as of last month, because today is the 1st of September. Thad's comment was, I love the fact that Ted Stevens has been dead for 14 years as of this month, and you still begin every episode of Flyby Films by referencing his stupid description of the internet. It's my favorite thing in the fucking world.
Well, my favorite thing in the fucking world is how much we delight Thad because of that.
I think my favorite thing in the fucking world is how much we delight Thad without even knowing it. Because neither one of us know who Ted Stevens is, or that was his description. So that's even funnier to me.
He was a senator from Alaska. So, wow. Yeah. Ted Stevens. Good old Alaska senator.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like something someone from Alaska would say.
Yeah.
Kind of
there's
like being able to see the Russians from your porch. Another famous senator slash presidential or vice presidential nominee was known for that one. So
Was that
she happened to be from Alaska as well. So
Palin
yeah,
or Palin?
yeah,
Hmm.
not the good Palin, not the Michael Palin, but
Not Michael Palin. Yeah. How have you been?
man, I probably sound like shit, but I think the allergies are starting to hit me. They usually hit around the beginning of summer and the end of summer. So I've got a slight hint of the sexy voice going on. I don't know if you can tell,
It's good.
but yeah, I mean, I love it. It's like the one episode of Friends that I actually can watch and enjoy is the one where Phoebe is sick. And she delights in her voice when she's sick, and when she stops being sick, she gets so fucking pissed. I think that's funny. That is the funniest bit on any of the Friends show. I watch any other Friends episode and I'm like, this is boring as fuck.
Yeah. I'm definitely not into Friends. I was when I was a kid, but I think it was more that I knew I wasn't supposed to watch it. And my sister and I watched it. But yeah, as soon as teenagedom hit, I wasn't into it anymore. Too cool for that.
What item, show, or movie, or what otherwise, really any medium of any sort, did you partake in whenever you were young that you are most shamed about now or shameful of now?
Oh,
I think I would say that I have seen every episode of the original 90210.
I don't. Okay. And you feel ashamed of that?
Yeah. I feel ashamed that I know way more about any kind of soap opera. Period. Because
So,
I still maintain that soap operas are probably the lowest level of entertainment. No, second lowest entertainment, because reality TV would be the lowest. But
I was gonna say, reality TV is still kind of having a moment.
yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think. What am I most ashamed about? I was very into, Christian music, and I think my family went through a country music phase, like CCM type stuff. But I don't consider that out of my own free will. So,
well, okay, yeah. Technically, I wouldn't consider 90210 out of my free will. I watched it because my sister was watching it, and we only had like one TV in the house, and so when she was watching it, I had no ability to watch anything but that.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say though, 90210. I feel like if you talk about that, if you went to Twitter and you were talking about your love or former love of 90210, it would be well received, because I feel like there's a recent, maybe not so recent, the past 10 years, there's a big push to reclaim your guilty pleasures as just pleasures and not feel the guilt and not feel the shame of them. But I'm not saying, you're free to feel shame. I think the reason why I bring that up is because
Jameson's like, you're feel free to have shame, and matter of fact, you should feel it.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I bring that up is the band I am about to mention that I was very into was or is I can't. Oh,
What I was gonna say, sorry, I muted my mic without knowing it. What I was gonna say is before you say the
okay.
name of this band, there's a high probability that he's gonna name this band, and it's gonna be a band I still listen to. So I cannot wait.
No, this band is a band that is having a huge moment right now.
Oh shit. Okay.
So that's why I feel a little bit of shame using this as my shame, because I feel like if you're talking to anyone about it, right now there's a huge movement on the internet to reclaim the shame of this band. And that band is Creed.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah. See,
Okay.
I still still don't consider them Christian.
No, oh no. So this is a little bit after that
Oh,
phase
gotcha. Okay.
when I was like
I know that
able.
Stappy Boy was vaguely Christian and in weird ways, but
Yeah, I think he's just kind of like a Florida conservative. But
oh, is he?
there.
That's funny.
Well, one of the albums had pretty explicit Christian themes, and
Was it My Own
yeah,
Prison?
yeah, it was My Own Prison. It was their first
Yeah.
one, so. But yeah, I mean, their first two albums I listened to quite a bit, and this was after I felt able to kind of choose my own music.
Mhm.
Um, it was like influenced by my dad, who was a fan of them at the time, but I went and I bought their second album myself, and so.
Well, you can just put that shame baby to bed, Jameson, because I can one up you right here, right now.
Do it.
Around the same time that you were probably rocking out to some Creed, I too had Human Clay. Don't get me wrong, this was simultaneous with what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
I listened to Human Clay and Silver Side Up on repeat. Silver Side Up being the album that made Nickelback a household
Ah.
name. Not only this, Nickelback came to Amarillo with Puddle of
Yes.
Mud and Finger
Ooh.
11, and yours truly went to see them.
You know what? I don't think you should feel shame about that Nickelback. I think you should feel shame about going to see Puddle of Mud.
Yeah. Fair enough. They are assholes. Puddle of Mud, man.
That band was famous
At least Nickelback was
for,
melodic.
yeah, and I'm trying to think, did Nickelback have a single that was like straight up misogyny? Because Puddle of Mud did.
Oh, yeah. No.
So,
At least I don't recall Nickelback having any kind of song that was like notably like I don't recall anything that would have made them cancelable
yeah.
music wise. Whereas Puddle of Mud, yes, definitely.
Yeah, sometimes I think back to that time and I'm like, wow, there were like hits where you could just talk about how bitchy your woman was. And I just am like amazed at that was just a time in our lives.
Yeah.
I think even this was a more like radio friendly band, Jet. They had a song too, right? Like
Cold Hard Bitch.
Cold Hard Bitch, yeah. It
Yeah.
was just wonderful time.
Oh yeah. What's so funny is that when I went to see that show, I actually think that I might have been a bigger fan of Finger 11 than I was Nickelback, even though I liked Nickelback. And it was really only because of the album that had Paralyzer on it. But that's kind of disco-y, man. That song still rocks to this day.
You know
The
what?
album sucks. It's horrible. Like, they're not a good band. But that song, it works.
I think if you said, I have $1,000 on the line, If you, out of this lineup of Puddle of Mud, Saliva, Nickelback, Finger 11,
Uncle Cracker,
whatever, you gave me a lineup of these songs. I could not tell you a single Finger 11 song.
the royalty of butt rock.
If you take all of the butt rock and you just play it and you're like, tell me who Finger 11 is, and you get $1,000. I could not do it. So
that's fair.
I definitely did not. It wasn't until very later in my life when I listened to non-Christian radio, and maybe that's what I'm shamed of, is that there are big gaps of songs and bands that I hear about that are like, oh, this person is famous. Actually, a lot of rap too, that I couldn't tell you what this person sounds like at all.
I'm just right now. I'm imagining Jamie from 10, 15 years ago, and someone come up to them and being like, "Yo, what are your thoughts about Radiohead?" And you're like, "I don't know. I guess you could say I'm a Radiohead."
That one got a scream. That was a good joke. Good reaction. Yeah. I've known who Radiohead is probably for about 20 years at this point, right? I think I discovered Radiohead at a pretty normal Radiohead discovery age. But
would it surprise you to say that I still probably haven't discovered them, because I'm not entirely sure I've actually listened to a full album by them.
I think you might like them better if you did give a full album. They are generally
an album band.
They're an album band.
I've got respect for that.
Yeah, so,
which is not the case for butt rock bands. They were very much aiming for the single.
Yeah, I was much more
singles with filler.
Yeah. I was very into DC Talk for a while. That was who I was into.
Ooh, okay, let's get into this. Okay, let's get into this. Is a very interesting line of discussion here. DC Talk.
Yeah.
For those who are not aware, they were one of, if not the original Christian rap group. The only other one I can think of is Grits, which Grits actually had talent. In the rap game. So
here's the funny thing: I don't consider DC Talk a rap group. I really don't.
Yeah, they're vague. Like they're rap. Like they are to rap what Korn is to rap.
Yeah. I think.
Limp Bizkit is to rap.
Sure, I actually think they're better than Limp Bizkit as a band. If you were to like rank all of the bands, But
Limp Bizkit can go jump off the cliff as far as I'm concerned. Korn, I'm not a huge Korn fan either, but at least recognize their talent. So
I don't, but I know a lot of people do, so I didn't want to step in that cornfield.
Get it? Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was. It was better in my mind than when it came out, but
fuck Juggalos. Oh, sorry, I was just putting that one out there too. Actually, don't. They seem to be pretty nice people for the most part. I've only met a few of them.
Speaking of Christian music, you didn't.
Did ICP become Christian?
No.
Did they have a conversion? Did they have a Damascus Road experience?
Okay, you gotta hear me out. I don't know. This was like 10 years back, so it was. I'm not gonna go search for the articles on this.
You found Mother Mary at an ICP concert?
No, but one of my favorite like storylines of terrible music is that about 10 years ago, ICP did this interview where they claimed that they have been Christians the whole time, and it was a big like trick to make people think that they were really, this dark force in the world, and then they were going to pull the rug out. And this interview was them pulling the rug out and being like, yeah, we've been Christians the whole time. And it's a legit interview where they say this. I don't know if it's true. I don't know what to believe about them. I think I like to trash on ICP just like a normal person, but I don't know. They have a community. They make people happy, and as long as those people aren't, causing actual problems, I think.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing. If you're a person who's gonna trash on the Juggalo community, then you need to trash on the Fish community, the Grateful Dead community, like any band that has some vague like cult surrounding it. Like, you should trash them all because they're doing the same thing.
Yeah,
there's nothing different. Like, yeah, sure, the music's slightly different, but it's still jam bandish. So.
to an extent, yeah. But ICP,
and
you'll have to
look drugs involved.
Yeah, you'll have to look that one up because that just made me happy. It was just funny.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious if it had actually been true.
It still might be, Blake.
I mean, I just look back on ICP and I'm always amazed at how they are consistently able to work with the really great musicians throughout their career. I mean, Jack White produced a song for them.
Yeah.
Danny Brown has done features in their songs. Like, this is, of course, all of that is a Detroit connection.
Yeah.
So don't, like, that's part of it. But it's still impressive. I mean,
I think there's a lot of weight to the local community aspect. Yeah. Right?
Especially in a place like Detroit, where there's just so much history that kind of binds people. But
yeah.
But DC Talk. Okay, so
getting back to DC Talk.
Kevin Max, Toby Mac, and who's the other guy? I can never remember his name.
Russ? No. Tate. Michael Tate.
Yeah, Michael Tate. Yeah.
Michael Tate.
So this was a group that did like melodic, kind of like semi-fast talking rap adjacent occasionally music. And they were big for a good while, and they kind of even almost had a crossover hit with Jesus Freak in a weird way. Part of me thinks it was kind of ironic that it got a crossover play, but whatever. It is what it is.
I was like 8, so I didn't know what irony was.
Exactly. Yeah. 8-year-olds don't understand irony. It's just the way it is. But let's talk about where they are now. Okay, so Toby Mac is probably the reigning king of CCM at this point. I mean, the dude can just take a shit on a record and sell millions of copies to evangelical kids right and left to this day.
Yeah.
And the guy's in his 60s probably. Or at least his upper 50s.
Yeah, I think he's probably in his 50s. I do have to call out though. Okay, Toby Mac did 2 things. He started the band Toby Mac, which is not a great band. No. I don't really care for Toby Mac's music.
No, I don't either.
He also started a record label, and
called Toby Mac.
No. I am blanking on the record label, but it is the record label that found and discovered and put out Reliant K's albums.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I'm trying to look it up.
Was it Squint? It wasn't Squint, was it?
No, Goatee Records.
Goatee. That's right.
And
Goatee.
I'm gonna remind myself, because this Reliant K was not the only notable Goatee Records.
No. Goatee Records was a pretty big damn deal for, like, especially pop punk.
Yeah.
Music.
Former artists. I'm just gonna list some of these former artists.
Sweet.
So
Please
you
tell me
had
that MXPX had an album on there.
no,
They
but
were all Tooth and Nail or Solid State.
yeah, they were all
Okay.
Tooth and Nail. They were all Tooth
Okay.
and Nail. They may have had a few more mainstream ones, but you've got Reliant K. You have do you remember L.A. Symphony?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there were some
That was some
rap.
There's some underground rap for a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Deep Space 5.
Oh, there's my boys.
Yeah, who's
There's
connected?
my boys.
Yeah, connected to both our boy,
Listener.
and there's a small band here called I think. Is this who I'm thinking of? No. Oh, yes. A band called House of Heroes.
Oh, I love House of Heroes.
Okay.
Love them.
So
Love them.
Yeah. House of Heroes, they had an interesting trajectory. I don't know. I think they're, according to Wikipedia, they're on hiatus right now or something.
They released an album in like 2016, and then they kind of went off the radar.
Yeah. So they were always kind of an interesting band. Weird. They had a little like
band.
Tenuous connection with Christian music, where they were like, we don't really want to be on this, but we're on Goatee Records, all that.
But they would talk about some weird shit on their albums, like communism and like
yeah. And House of Heroes is famously connected to one of the biggest rock bands in the world right now, 21 Pilots.
Oh, shit, really? So yeah. That's how the Mute Math 21 Pilots connection happened.
Probably
that connection.
Yeah, probably all of these connections.
That vague connection to the CCM or ex-CCM world.
Yeah, and So actually also on here is Grits. Grits was on Goatee Records, so Family Force 5.
Never got into them, but
no,
if it's your thing, it's your thing. Yeah, whatever.
No, I think they were actually good at what they did, but not my thing for sure. But yeah, so we can move on back to shitting on Toby Mac for his actual musical output, but
that actually makes that's interesting. I did not know that he was the guy behind Goatee. Okay.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah. So I'll give the dude a little bit of credit. Yeah.
Hey, last year I was back on the Reliant K hook. I was like, I need some Reliant K in my life right now. This feels heavy enough. I need some lightness. I need some humor, some fun.
Yeah,
they're still good, man. They rock it out.
Yeah, they rocked it, and they were fun. And that's all you wanted, a pop punk band.
So moving on to Michael Tate. Do you know what he's doing now?
I absolutely do. I know this whole thing. He is the lead singer. Okay, so let me back up a little bit. When DC Talk was the biggest Christian band in the world, there were two other kings. There was Audio Adrenaline,
Oh yeah, my boys.
really big. And then there was also the Newsboys, and
Yep.
they were the Kings from Down Under. So you had these three titans of
Mm-hmm.
cheesy Christian pop rock.
Hey, don't shit on Audio A, man.
I will. Big House is not a good song, and
Oh,
I
it's a
have
horrible
heard it
song. It's
so
a
many
horrible song.
times.
Horrible
So
song.
many times in my life.
It's one of their
So,
worst songs by a good.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll even go to bat for some of the things that the Newsboys have made in their career.
Oh yeah.
Up to the year 2000, and
And they
then
put on a
it's.
hell of a show too. I saw them live.
I have seen the Newsboys live. I was
Yeah.
actually also really into the Newsboys. I think there's some good pop music
Yep.
from there. But yeah, I think after the year 2000 things go downhill.
Oh yeah.
So the reason
Oh
why
yeah.
I bring this up is you are going to ask me what Michael Tate is up to, and I'm going to respond by saying he's fronting the Newsboys right now,
Yes.
which is absolutely true. He's been with them throughout their whole God's Not
Yep.
Dead debacle.
Oh yeah.
And that's absolutely true. But a lesser known fact, though maybe one you know, is that the other member of DC Talk, Kevin Max, fronted Audio Adrenaline for about 3 or 4 years, too.
So I did not know that.
Yeah. So
But did they make a record with him?
I'm not sure if they made a
Because
record
I
with
don't
him.
remember ever hearing a record with him. Because I would listen to that. Because
Yeah, I don't
Kevin
think
Kevin Max remains the only person I pay attention to from DC Talk to this day.
Yeah,
Because that fucker is weird.
He's
And
very
his music,
weird.
like, I don't necessarily like his music, but I always listen to it because I'm like, I'm going to be in for a trip here. And I'm down for where he's going to take me. And I'll listen to the whole album, and then I'll be like, yeah, I'm probably never going to listen to that again. But at least I got taken on a trip.
Yeah. So he was the lead singer from 2012 to 2014.
Okay.
So,
Damn. Because the
and
lead singer of Audio A, do you know where he played, or at least for a time played guitar for a bigger act?
oh, no, I don't.
Matt Carney.
Oh, he went to Chico State.
Oh, Matt Carney did?
Wait, what?
Or Audio A, the guy did.
No, Matt Carney. Yeah.
So if I remember from my CCM history well, the lead singer of Audio A had vocal issues later on, and that was part of the reason why he had to pull out of fronting the band, is because he had something going on with his voice, and so he basically just, like, I guess he started going more in the instrumental route. And I remember because I was a fan of Matt Carney, at least in the beginning. I haven't paid attention to him the last probably decade, but at the beginning, some of his stuff was really good pop, and so I was like, all right, yeah, I'm down. And then I happened to look at listen to this. I bought his CDs. This was back when CDs were still a thing, and I remember reading the liner notes, and I'm like, that name sounds familiar. And I looked it up. I was like, hot damn, it's the lead singer of Audio A.
Yeah. And yeah, so Matt Carney did go to Chico State. He was on their soccer team for a while. So
that is hilarious. Yeah, that seems right. He looks like the type.
Yeah. Just to give you an update, it does look like Kevin Max was at least on one album. He was Kings and Queens.
Okay, well,
Was
I'm
an
gonna be
audio
listening to
drama.
that tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. And it seemed to have gotten good reviews from the Christian music world.
Well, I mean,
Uh,
Kevin Max has a really unique voice.
yes.
And so part of it for me is trying to figure out how that voice melds with Audio A's music.
I have no idea.
And so this is why I'm going to have to listen to this album.
I just think it's funny that, that these three titans of CCM industry basically like all melded together, and very incestuous.
Yes, I was about to say, that's the one word that came to mind was incestuous.
Yeah. So did you ever see DC Talk live?
No, I kind of largely missed the DC Talk train. I kind of had my time with them later, like high school, college.
Mm-hmm.
I got into Audio A and Newsboys earlier than that. But I always liked the weird albums that they did. Like, I remember when Love Liberty Disco came out, and
The Newsboys,
and
yeah.
yeah, Newsboys, and people were like all butthurt about them like not being the Newsboys anymore, and I was like, man, dude, this fucking album rocks. What the fuck
Yeah.
y'all talking about?
Yeah, I think
Disco sounds good on them.
yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah,
They had some. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about revisiting that one, and there was like "Take Me to Your Leader."
yeah.
Um,
Audio 8
yeah.
put out a vaguely. This is right before. This was the last album they did before they kind of went full worship music.
Mm-hmm.
Was Lift,
Okay.
and that was a really pretty pensive album. Like,
Okay.
I remember really digging that album. Like they kind of were pulling back on their like, kind of cheesy, you know, tongue-in-cheek lyricism, and they were actually going more serious, and
Mm-hmm.
then they were like layering like instruments and things like that. I was like, oh, okay, this is an album that has like it's pretty, like there's a lot going on here. So,
Okay.
and I
Okay.
believe that was the end of. A lot of fans are like, what the f is this? Where's my
Well,
Chevette? Damn it.
yeah. I think my sister had. Did they do one called Bloom? Was that an album
Yeah, that
or?
was one of their first ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think that's the one that had some kind of zombie on it. I think.
Yeah, probably. I don't remember. I remember these songs. It wasn't the one with Big House on it, but
Yeah,
had
Big
some
House
other.
was on the very first album, I think, because I think that
Yeah.
was their biggest hit.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yes. But I think this was what was so disappointing about, I listened to these bands again, this was mostly like, forced from my parents or, heavily influenced by what they're listening to. And, I became fond of them. But then they all just kind of morphed into this worship music sameness.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and it's sad to me.
Yeah,
So,
their distinctiveness just like died in the 2000s.
yeah, anything that you would call distinctive. But I do remember seeing DC Talk, which we should mention. DC Talk did disband, and
They disbanded in the late 90s, didn't they? Like
was it
before
the
2000s? Maybe it was
maybe
2000s.
when did Supernatural come out? That was
Oh
their
man.
last album, right?
Yeah. I don't know their timeline very well. So
I'm going to look it up on Wikipedia because I have my computer up. DC Talk. Also, pop quiz. You know what DC Talk stands for, right?
No, I actually don't think I do.
Decent Christian Talk.
Oh God. Okay.
I know, it's terrible.
Oof.
But they disbanded in 2002, so just over the
When I
2000 hump.
graduated from high school. Oh,
Hey, probably
maybe I
because
caused their
of that.
disbanding.
Yeah,
Let's say.
yeah,
We lost our demographic. That one kid in Canyon, Texas.
yeah. No, I had a DC Talk T-shirt, band shirt for a while. It was the Supernatural cover. I had seen them on their Supernatural tour, and I saw them with Jennifer Knapp opened for them.
Oh man,
Uh,
that's a name that you say that's a curse word in some communities,
That's a curse word, even though she's still making Christian music.
which is
Whether or not
hilarious.
the Christians are listening to it, she's
Yep.
still making Christian music.
I don't think I've
Uh,
listened to anything she's done. I never was a Jennifer Knapp fan, even before she came out of the closets.
it was I think my sister was really into her first album. I think it was called Kansas, and I didn't really listen to anything after that.
Yeah.
But there were some tunes. If you liked Lilith Fair type music,
Mm-hmm.
then
Which is fine. Yeah.
it was very much that style.
Yeah.
So I think it was good. And additionally, the W's opened for DC Talk,
Oh, nice.
and that was great. I remember
Oh, I
really
bet
liking the
they're
W's.
fun.
Yes, yeah. I think they were a secretly good band, actually.
You know who I think was actually a secretly good band, although they were in a genre that was never taken seriously?
Who?
The OC Supertones.
Okay, so I agree, except they did the same thing as every other big Christian band. They morphed into this worship music sameness, and that's what they got famous for. But yeah, no, they had some good hard
But back in the
hitting.
heyday of their like
Yes.
ska-ness,
Yeah.
like it was
No, it's kind of funny because I think the ska is also kind of making a comeback, and the ska world kind of has only room for one Christian band, and so Five Iron Frenzy already takes that role.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
and
they're
should, honestly.
Yeah. No, Five Iron Frenzy is great, and they're well loved for good reason. But if there was room for two, then yeah, I think the OC Supertones. I think there's some of their albums that deserve some recognition.
At least their earlier stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the W's I think were actually pretty good. They were, if you're listening and you've never heard of the W's, they were a swing rock band. So this was around the time of the Cherry Poppin' Daddies.
Yep.
So if you're skeeved out by that, you should check out the W's, because it's anything that you might find good about that, better and less creepy. So yeah.
Yeah.
No, they had some good stuff.
I still find massive enjoyment in finding either long forgotten or to this day underground Christian acts that are actually decent, that are actually like really good musically. So I saw not DC Talk, Newsboys at one of those carnival festivals things that they did for a while, that the Christian music industry did for a while.
Festival Con Dios.
Yeah, Festival Con Dios. They came to
went
Amarillo.
to that.
Yeah. And I got to see them. I got to see Switchfoot before they crossed over. They were right about to cross over when I saw them. I saw there were so many bands there. Reliant K, maybe? I don't remember. Anyways, I saw a bunch of bands there. But I remember Newsboys was the band because,
Yeah.
and holy shit, they put on a good show. But the band that has actually lasted the longest from that experience that I discovered at that thing, and I still will listen to their music to this day.
Was it
It's a
the
band that
Benjamin Gate?
no,
Oh,
no, it's the Elms. You ever heard of the
okay.
Elms?
I have heard of the Elms. Yeah.
So they were my introduction into roots rock.
Okay.
Weirdly enough, although they were in a weird Beatles phase when I first and I was like, that was their first debut album because they were like one of the newer bands in that Festival con Dios. And their
Mm-hmm.
first album is very Beatles heavy, like influence. It's very clear. But if you listen from there on, they get more and more towards the Bruce Springsteen. Like they did Farm Aid and a few other things like that.
Okay.
And then they
Okay.
quit. And then they went on with their lives and just did their own thing. I think their last album was like the Great Wide Open or something like that, and it was like pretty much poppier roots rock kind of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
man, they had some good writing, and they talked about shit that you wouldn't normally hear in most Christian bands. So I'll still listen to their albums to this day. I was a big Switchfoot fan, but I don't listen to them near as much as I listen to the Elms. So
Yeah. There was at that Festival con Dios, who I thought you were gonna say was the Benjamin Gate. I
oh
remember
yeah,
seeing
I mean I
them.
remember them.
Yeah.
I
So
mean they're no Earthsuit, but
yeah, but it was weird. It was weird enough for young Jamie, and
yeah.
I was like, okay, this is good. And then
I
I
joke.
think
I joke about Earthsuit. Earthsuit was a really horrible band, but Mute Math came out of Earthsuit. So
Earthsuit was not a horrible band. Earthsuit had good music. Not all of it was good, but
some of
they
it was
had
good.
a lot of good ideas.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
Paul
also
Meany, man.
yeah,
I love me some Paul Meany.
me too. Me too. I didn't think we were going to talk so much about Christian music tonight.
Well, you
But
dropped DC Talk, and I mean, you can't just gloss
yeah,
over that.
I know. We got to get into the DC talk.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
especially
I
when they
remember
with all the incest going on there.
there was a
Some of
lot
it
of
I didn't even know
incest.
about. Got
Yeah.
gotta love Christian sanctioned incest.
Well, I'm trying to think. Okay, so we didn't talk so much about Kevin Max's trajectory, right? So like Toby Mac went to do his own thing. Michael Tate, he actually had his own band that was called Tate for a while, and my sisters had a huge crush on him,
Oh yeah.
and they listened to that. My twin sisters, but he then fronts the Newsboys through their God's Not Dead phase, which I think they're still in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and um,
Spoiler
uh,
alert. God is still not dead.
yeah, God's Not
You
Even
can't
Deader.
kill the guy.
Yeah. Then Kevin Max goes on to release albums on, I think, Northern Records,
hmm
which
Which
is
is a good record company.
it's a very weird
Yeah.
niche, almost Christian record company. So
hmm
it's kind of like a fringe company on the same level as Velvet Blue,
Yeah.
where the majority of bands are bands that kind of came out of the Christian music scene, but I don't think these are Christian labels.
Yeah.
Like
hmm
maybe
But
Northern Records
but
is,
they
I don't know.
have Velvet Blue has a company like Velvet Blue, a record label like Velvet Blue still has like devout Christians on it. But they
Yes.
themselves don't call themselves a quote unquote Christian label.
No, and I
It's
don't think
it's
that's.
the old-fashioned term of, is it a Christian band or are they just a band full of Christians?
Oh, dude, I have to complain about this, but let's finish this
Okay.
thought. And it'll traject us into another category. I promise.
Beautiful.
That's why I'm pinching it right now. So
Wait, you're holding your poop?
yeah, I'm
Okay,
holding
sweet.
my mouth diarrhea that I'm going to release in a second. Absolutely. So Kevin Max releases it on that. There's a connection to one of our favorite bands that we talk a bit about on the
Wait, are you talking about
podcast.
Northern Records?
Northern Records, right?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Oh yeah, it's luxury.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
and
one of Jason Martin's side projects.
lo and behold.
Yeah,
Or
lo and behold, with Demon Hunter Ryan Clark.
yeah.
Weird
So,
fucking album.
yeah, weird stuff. But I think where I'm like, what is the like Christian label status of Northern Records that I get kind of hung up on is Lee Bozeman from Luxury, which is a band kind of in the Christian music world. He has like an EP.
Don't say that to them, because I wrote a review of the documentary about the band Luxury, and I heard back from one of the guys who who did the documentary and is part of the band, that many of the items I said about the band and the people it influenced was problematic, and I was like, okay.
Can you, Blake, you need to, I think you need to spill some more tea. Can you? I don't.
Yeah,
what did you say?
I don't give a shit. I said, okay, if you watch that documentary, there is a clear line of discussion in that documentary about how Lee Bozeman's lead vocals and his lyricism spoke to people that were going through identity crisis of sexuality or gender or various other things. And there's mentioned DM Stith, another favorite of ours, is in the documentary.
Oh yeah, interesting. I didn't know that.
There's connections with, like, Sufjan, and there's this whole underground kind of Christian like root system that they all are connected somehow. And I mentioned that, like, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe DM Stith is gay, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that one. I know that Sufjan is.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Yeah, Sufjan came out just recently.
But that's actually
I feel like everyone kind of knew it.
So I remember getting really into Sufjan for a while. And do you know the publication World Magazine?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. This was around the time Sufjan was like crossing over into the mainstream, and World Magazine wrote this thing about how Christians shouldn't embrace him because he's probably gay. And I was like, this is terrible writing.
It's horrible. I even heard that within communities that you and I were part of, that were not conservative, and they were like, "Oh, poor Sufjan, he's gay and he can't talk about it." And I'm like, that's none of your fucking business.
Yeah,
it's no one's business but his.
Yeah.
But anyway, so like, there's this clear through line in the documentary about this element of Lee Bozeman's lyricism in Luxury being in his presentation, and because they were kind of a not proto, but like punk light in a lot of ways, or punk adjacent in their music. And Lee Bozeman at the time was a very charismatic frontman. I would still say he is, but in a very different way than he used to be.
Yeah, in a priestly way.
Yeah, in a priestly way. But I was noting this through line, and I was noting that this was being said and that these elements were coming together, and that it was really fascinating kind of to tie that in, especially considering the time period we're in right now, and these subject matter and whatnot. And so, and he was like, how dare you say that I don't think any of this actually shows up in the dark. And I was like, did you watch the documentary you made? I mean, I don't just randomly pull this shit on my ass and put it on paper just for clicks. Like, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
And so I was like, anyway, and I took some of it out because I was like, I don't want to piss this guy off. Well, whatever. Like, I don't give a shit ultimately.
Yeah.
It's not being. The thing is like, he shouldn't have been worried about it because the site I was writing for was largely not going to get read by most people. So,
yeah,
it wasn't a big deal.
Well, on that note, I do think maybe it will be read by AI.
Oh yeah, it will be. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it was weird. It was a weird moment.
What I was gonna mention was how sexually explicit some of Lee Bozeman's lyrics are.
Oh, yeah.
Specifically in his releases on Northern Records. Like,
yep.
I think he even has a line where he talks about people fucking, like he uses the F word, and I was like, okay. So I didn't.
Yeah.
I guess I've never known. I mean, I guess there's maybe a difference between being like a Christian label and like wanting your records at Christian bookstores, but I've always wondered about that distinction there. So,
well, it's like one of you and I's favorite record labels, Lujo.
Yeah,
what was kind of weirdly like in that same arena too. Although I brought that up, like I was in a weird Discord group with the wife of the guy who started the company.
Yeah.
And I asked her, like, I was like, what? So was there like some kind of like weird, like, was there some Christian connection or something? And she smartly, in my opinion, basically just sidestepped that question.
Yeah.
And because I think there was, but you don't ever want to pigeonhole yourself. So,
well, I do think, and I could probably tell you the connection too. Like if well, not tell you, but like I could guess at it. It was likely the Jeff Suffering connection.
yeah.
Because a lot of the bands that they had were actually like Seattle area bands. Mm-hmm. So some notable non-Christian bands that they released albums from was like The Fall of Troy. Their first album was on Lujo Records. And I remember that Jeff Suffering was really into the Seattle punk scene.
Gotcha.
And I think he was probably the connection that was like, oh, here's an up and coming band, you should sign them. And he got them reviewed by some of the magazines up there, the Northwest ones. But and then they eventually kind of moved on to record labels that fit them more. But I think that was a big success story of Lujo Records. But yeah, there were a ton of Christian-esque bands on that label, specifically like Suffering and the Hideous Thieves, who they said the F word. That was Jeff Suffering's thing, is like, I say the F word, but I'm a Christian. But you know, his whole he didn't Suffering and the Hideous Thieves wasn't even his most controversial band. It was Raft of Dead Monkeys.
That's what.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
remember that. Yeah,
I think one of their EPs was called Joey the Pig Fucker. Um, so and they like had pole dancers at their shows, like on stage with them.
that's
So
hilarious.
yeah,
I
so that
one of my one. So I don't ever think they actually released their albums on Lujo, but I found out about this band through a Lujo compilation album that they put out, and it was East of Western.
okay.
And the guy who led that band was worked for the Brim Center, which is the Biola University. Biola? Is it Biola University? Or is it maybe it's what's the Christian college in the Seattle area? Which would make more sense.
Seattle Pacific University.
Maybe.
Biola is in Southern California.
What's the I'm gonna have to look it up. But I just know that the Brim Center is part of a significant Christian university, and I once reached out to the lead singer of that band because I liked him so much, and had at the time interest in writing something about their albums because they only put out 2 albums, and they struck me as a working band, like in the sense
Mm-hmm.
that they just made music because they all had jobs outside of it, but they were like, why not? Yeah. So, um, but I would have never found that band outside of Flujo, and I don't think I think they had ties to them because of the area, but I don't think they were necessarily on the label itself. So like it's weird how all of that kind of works itself out, and it's kind of incestuous.
I have a question if you're on that Discord with Miss Lujo again. Can you ask why their music isn't on Bandcamp?
God, that's a good question.
That is a good question, and tell them to get on that, please.
Yeah, to put their whole discography on there so that I can buy it. Yeah,
So that I can
yeah,
listen to it and buy it. Yeah.
yeah. Because I would
So
in a
yeah.
heartbeat. Death House
Yeah.
Chaplain.
Death
I
House
listen.
Chaplain.
I listened to that album so many times.
Yeah. Um, the In Praise of Folly albums. There was
History Invades.
History
Um,
Invades. I loved History Invades.
oh
Actually,
yeah,
the last 2 History Invades albums were very, very good, and that was a very sad band because there was a connection between Chico. I actually saw them in play like a Friday night in the park show
that's
in
cool.
the downtown Chico. And I think there was a connection between Chico and Reading, which is like an hour and a half away. Um, but
Oh, I got triggered by the word Reading.
yeah, Bethel.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Oh,
I worked on a project in Reading.
I remember this. Sorry, I didn't mean to trigger you.
Yeah.
But the History Invades guy, like, he died in 2011, and it
Oh, that
was
sucks.
really, yeah, it was like a surprise situation where, you know, I don't know if it was something that, there was like a car accident or
Mm.
something. They never really released much info about it, but I just remember following them and then finding that out, and that was a
Oh
very
man,
sad thing. But
yeah, that
yeah,
sucks.
I think that was a band that could have been, you know, could have still made great
Hmm.
music, but
And it all just so do you know how I found out? So this will be the last thing I disrupt our discussion of Alien about. Do you know how I found out about Lujo?
how?
Because of the tie between Thrice and the Out Circuit.
Oh, yeah.
I knew that Dustin Kinsrew had featured on the second album by the Out Circuit. And so I was like, at the time, I was a huge Thrice fan, not so much anymore. And I was like, oh, I'm going to check that album out. And that was my first Lujo record to buy. And I was like, oh, I wonder what else. Because whenever you bought records from the actual label, they would send compilation albums of their other stuff to you, and a bunch of other stuff. I remember the first package I got, the first thing I bought from them, like, you got so much shit in there, like, just randomly. Like, like
Yeah.
you got like 4 like compilation albums, and you got like, stickers and crap like that, and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to those compilation albums, and I was like, holy shit, I need to listen to more of these bands. These are good.
Yeah. No, I had so many of their compilations, and yeah, I would order things from them. I remember that.
Yeah, Pierce the Empire with a Sound is a fucking great album.
I had that album.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It is good. Did
you know that he released an album not too long ago? Another Out Circuit album?
I think I remember seeing that. I think I remember seeing that.
It's on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
At least I think it was.
I maybe even listened to it and then didn't ever circle back, but yeah.
It wasn't great. It was good.
Well, he was one of the members of Frodus, right?
Yes. He came in for the one album that was that on Lujo? Like the final Frodus album?
There was never a Frodus album on Lujo, but there was one on Fueled by Ramen. Or Ramen.
Okay. Fueled by Ramen, yeah.
Fueled by Ramen.
Everybody fuels by Raymond.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody fueled by Raymond.
Yeah, I just remember that he came in for the last album, which had The Earth Isn't Humming, which is covered by Thrice on one of their albums.
Okay.
And he, the guy behind the Out Circuit, I can't think of his name right now, worked at Mars Hill with Dustin Kinsrew during the whole Mark Driscoll fiasco, and fucked them both up royally.
Yeah, so did Suffering.
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that Jeff Suffering worked there. Okay.
Yeah, he worked there too, and I think it also fucked him up too. Yeah. So, yeah,
that church had a wake of horror left in its path.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to know that whatever that guy's name is, that he's done with, right?
Yep.
People don't fall.
Oh yeah. Well, no, he's got a new church in Arizona, so it doesn't matter.
No, I know. I was. Can't believe it.
You're trying to hopefully believe in a alternate universe where he actually didn't have sway over people again.
Yeah, where pastors actually got got what they deserved when they were shitty. Yeah. Which is just having their platform taken away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's a whole nother discussion. So we've made it an hour and nearly 10 minutes. And this might be unusual for those who have listened to the last couple of episodes, because we said we were going to keep these short. But here's the deal. We're going to be talking about all of the rest of the Alien movies in a long episode that we're going to cut in half and give you part one week, and then part 2 weeks later. So wait. So we are you are full of bullshit on the first episode.
Yeah.
And maybe 30 minutes ish of aliens talk. and then you get full aliens talk on this the next episode with minor amounts of bullshit threaded through.
Yeah, I still have a bullshit topic. I have not unpinched that.
Well, then let's just bullshit, man.
Yeah,
let's just make them listen to the bullshit for an hour and a half.
One whole episode of bullshit and then one whole episode of aliens. I'm down. I don't care. No, we'll get to Alien. I feel like we'll get to Alien. No, just this talk of Christian music and what is a Christian thing and what is not a Christian thing.
Oh, you're going back to the whole, is this a Christian band or a band made of a band of Christians?
Well, specifically, is this person a Christian?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
When listening to music.
Is this one of your games?
No.
I thought you were going to start listing people and being like, is this person?
No. I mean, I think it's kind of fascinating, the different types of people who feel like they need to code switch between, different things. But I get really frustrated at this style of criticism. I don't know if you've ever read I don't know, Focus on the Family type stuff.
You're talking to a guy who used to look up if people were Christians.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I still do it to this day more out of morbid curiosity than actual interest.
Yeah. But what I'm talking about is when someone's writing a music review and the whole thing is about are they, aren't they?
Yes.
And I find that very frustrating. And I forgot that type of writing.
Jamie find it frustrating though.
I think young Jamie was more fascinated by this and willing to kind of play around with the those types of questions because young Jamie wasn't as ambiguous about his belief of belief.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the reason why I'm bringing this up is I had forgotten that style of criticism existed until this week. Because your and I most anticipated album of the year came out on Friday. And I was perusing the Googles. I was perusing the webs for reviews just to see, what people were saying, what people were latching onto, what people thought was neat about this album. For the listeners, the album I'm talking about is Wild God by Nick Cave.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, this was actually when I wasn't looking, but it just shows up in my news feed, is the Gospel Coalition's review of Nick Cave's Wild God. And I was like, oh, no good will come of this if I click on it.
And so you clicked on it.
I couldn't not click on it. And, thank God I'm not dwelling on who wrote it. I don't even know. I didn't catch the name of the person, so I can't say.
The sad part is I might actually know the person.
Maybe. and I don't even I don't know if the person wrote it who wrote it likes to critique it in this way, or this is just what's expected for the publication, because I know this is a very standard Gospel Coalition type thing, which is this media coming from a Christian, and that being very important.
Which is so weird, because whenever Gospel Coalition first started, that was not their shtick.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was very much a James Dobson kind of thing.
Yes.
A whole, is this good for your kids? Is this God honoring?
Is this God honoring? Exactly. But yeah, I they land on the fact that like he remains ambiguous about this, which I think is kind of a poor reading about Nick Cave's
I don't know
lyrics.
how they could say that about that fucking
Yeah,
album.
yeah. I just think the idea that you would recommend to your Christian listeners to listen to all of Nick Cave's output maybe is freaking them out a bit, so they want to give a little bit of caution. But
You know what?
who
You know what
knows?
threw me off more than what is he not Christian? Like as I was listening to that album. Wait, okay. First off, have you listened to the album?
I have. I've listened to
Okay.
it a couple times.
Second off,
Still digesting. Yeah.
oh, of course, yeah, it's gonna take a while. But this is the part of the album that I'm like, huh. I wonder what that's like. Being in the Cave household right now. The second to last song is about a woman that he once wrote music with and had a relationship with,
Sure. Yeah.
who died in 2021 apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to the very first line of the song, it's like she gets about a bed like ahead of her panties or something like that, and it's very much and I'm like thinking, I wonder what his wife now thinks about this song. That was my first thought. I was like, and I'm sure she's perfectly fine with it, whatever, but I'm just thinking to myself, huh, interesting.
I thought about that too. You know what? Ultimately, I just have to know that like the lives of rock stars are going to be very different than the lives that I'm used to. And I'm not like saying that infidelity is good. I don't think this counts as that. I think really the song is about reminiscing about this time when
Yeah,
they were,
no.
when they were together, and
it was really only that line.
yes,
Like that,
yeah,
that the first two lines of that song just threw me off. I was like,
yeah. I think he then likens it to the belief in God.
yeah.
He's like, yeah, now
I
I
now
believe in
know that
God.
I believe in God. I
Yeah,
have proof that there is a God.
yeah. I
And
also,
I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, if I was his wife now, I don't know. I might have a double glance at that lyric.
he's pretty open. I'm sure he shared it
Oh
with
yeah,
her.
and
So
that's and I have no doubt that she is under the full impression, like she understands where it's coming from and the
yeah,
background behind it and all of that. But from someone who doesn't know that relationship and only sees anything that he reveals from the outside, I'm just
mm-hmm.
like, huh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do this little every time I hear it. I'm like,
You know what's always funny to me is uh Nick Cave has quite a few lines about panties and in his like whole music, and they always make me giggle because I think like I don't know what it is about panties, that makes me giggle. I think one of it too is in one of his songs, um I forget what the rhyme is, but he tries to rhyme a word that does not rhyme with panties, and it just doesn't land, but because it's Nick Cave, it lands. I
yeah,
can't.
he does that all the time. Like
Yeah,
he forces words to work well together. And it
yeah,
shouldn't work, but because it's Nick Cave and he delivers it in the way that only Nick Cave can, it weirdly works somehow.
yeah. I
And I think
think
it's
I was.
because he shifts the music around. He's the
Yeah.
king of like going into a song, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a slower song, and then he'll just like blast you into like full on rock, and you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. I think what I'm realizing with this album is that Nick Cave could go in and he could write an essay about why Thomas Kincaid's art has meaning behind it. Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Nick Cave, and I'm not saying that he likes Thomas Kincaid stuff, but he has this ability of turning kitschy sounds, kitschy words, and and kind of like all these different emotions and feelings that we like to display kind of in our everyday lives, normal things like that, into deeper, more profound things.
Yeah. Very much so.
And I don't know. I think it's very unique and very interesting. So
yeah, it was yeah, it's fucking great. It's a great album, but I'm still, like you said, digesting it.
yeah,
I nearly shit myself when I first heard the Conversion though.
Conversion is good, and it's like a sequel song too. Like
Yeah.
the one that comes before it kind of tells all a full story. But yeah.
But fuck it, we're just gonna go for it. But our second most anticipated album also dropped 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which is
that's
Starflyer 59.
Lust for Gold,
which is superb. I have probably listened to it, I would say at this point 12 to 13 times fully.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Holy shit, it's endlessly re-listenable.
It's very listenable. I would say it's probably
unlike all of his other albums. I love Starflyer. Don't get me wrong, but I've never done this with one of his albums.
Yeah. It is very good, and it hits hard, and I think there was a lot about it kind of being a return to his shoegaze, and I think there's that, but there's also kind of a big return to dream pop of that era.
Mm-hmm.
So the era that came right after the shoegaze era. So,
which is also a favorite of mine.
It's good. Yeah. Leave Here, Stranger is a great album.
Yeah.
But what I love about kind of modern day Starflyer 59, and this is getting back to kind of what we were talking about before, old Christian music, is one of the members, and this is all because they're in Southern California and there's this incestuous thing. One of the members is Steve Dial, who I think he's one of the guitarists of the band now, but he was famously in the band Project 86 for a while,
buddy.
which both Blake and I have some love for. So,
and Neon Horse.
Yeah, although Neon Horse, that's that Steve Dial,
Mark Solomon.
Yeah, it's Mark Solomon from Stavesacre.
Yeah,
who is also really good.
Which is that's a great album. Or that's a great band. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jason Martin. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and you informed me that they have a new album coming out this year.
Yeah, surprise to me. I was going down the Velvet Blue rabbit hole, and apparently Velvet Blue is going to be releasing that one too. So.
Oh, Velvet Blue is nice.
I thought so. Maybe I have it wrong.
Oh, I
I
don't
thought they
know.
were. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I mean,
Nice.
if someone knows, no one's gonna know.
Yeah.
No one knows Neon Horse that listens to our show.
Well, we both do
Yeah,
independently.
but independently, yes.
So, who knows? I'm just saying it's not impossible. So,
I mean, we just spent nearly an hour and a half talking about deep diving into the world of Christian music.
does Thad know Christian music? Maybe Thad knows.
I would imagine Thad is gonna laugh at this episode because he's like, these chumps listen to CCM music, that bullshit.
What about Demetrius? I'm just gonna list all of our listeners.
Demetrius, I would not be one bit surprised if he hasn't heard a single ounce of Christian music in his life.
Okay, that's fair.
Not because he's a bad person or anything, just because he knows that it's probably not good.
That's fair.
But we also gave him a lot of names to try out if he does want good Christian rock.
Yeah.
Or at least good music that has Christians in it.
Yeah, if you want good Christian rock, go with those. If you want decent Christian talk, well then you should listen to DC Talk.
And the DC Talk Extended Universe.
Yeah. The DCU, DCTU. Oh man. Speaking of the universe, Blake.
Yeah.
How big do you think the universe is?
It's huge. And I don't mean huge. I mean huge.
Do you think that in 80 years, give or take a few, we will be flying to planets that may or may not have life on them?
No, you know what I think is going to happen in 80 years? Our cities are going to be in like crumbles, and we're going to be like all poor. And it's going to be like a dystopian world.
Blake, that sucks. Why would you talk about that?
Because it's more realistic. All of this shit about flying to other planets, this is like what Elon Musk is like feeding into your head about the progress of technology.
This is true. And you know me, Blake. You know that is also my beat. I am 100% on your side. However, I did notice that Prometheus takes place only a hop, skip, and a jump away from the year we are in now. So this whole thing that we're about to talk about is gonna be kickstarted very, very soon.
Oh, I would hope so.
Yeah.
So I can avoid it at all costs.
Well, we'll both be dead for sure.
That's fair. I don't know. 80 years. It's not that long.
No, it's not that long. Do you think you'll be 120?
I think it's possible.
Okay.
But I won't remember anything.
That's fair. So I'm trying to pivot us into the Alien universe now.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to talk about that.
So bullshit can stay in the past. Bullshit's in the past. Right. Before we go
into the future.
Yeah, before we go any further, Blake, do you need a break? Do you need to get anything, or
do I need to clean my sword, as my child said earlier today? And I looked at my wife. And I said, that is not euphemism. He actually cleaned the sword.
Oh, hey.
That's a plastic sword he had. But when I hear clean your sword,
well,
I
I
hear
just
something different.
I just imagined that he killed someone and needs to clean his sword.
No.
Okay.
We are trying to get him to stop using the word kill, because he likes to run
Oh.
around with a Nerf gun and say, "I killed the window. I killed brother." And we're like, no, you don't even pretend to talk about that.
It's funny until it's about people, though. So
It's even kind of funny then, because you know it's not serious, but
sure.
you have to keep a straight face, and you're like, no. Bless your heart.
Yeah. Hazel's been doing one of those where it's like, oh, we need to nip this in the bud, but it's also very funny and this is hard. He'll get really frustrated, or this also pops up when he wants you to go away and he wants to do something that he knows you're going to tell him no about. He will get up in your face and he'll go, bye bye, bye bye. And then you're just like, dude, no, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. But it's just cute. And if you don't leave, he will push you. And then I'm like, no, this is not okay. You can't decide to do this and push me. This isn't.
At least that makes more sense than what Seamus does whenever he's about to do something that he doesn't want us to see or know about. Is he's like, don't look at me. And we're like, that's a flare that you just sent up saying you're about to do something you're not supposed to do. You do realize that, right?
Yeah. A, you don't get to tell me what to do. B, if you wanted to do something without us looking, you blew it.
You literally did the exact opposite.
You did the exact opposite.
You wanted to get caught, you little idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I do need to do something.
Okay. Do you want to take a break? Quick break?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how this works. I don't know how Riverside works with breaks.
We can just leave it running.
Okay. All right.
It'll be a nice blank spot.
Good.
It's right where I'm going to cut the episode.
Oh, no. They're not even going to get any alien in this episode.
We'll see. We'll see how long it goes.
Okay. All right. I'll see you in a bit.
Sounds good.